Have you ever met someone who did not seem impressive at first? They were quiet. They did not speak much. They did not try to dominate the conversation. Sometimes they even looked distant or difficult to understand. But after spending more time around them, something began to feel different. Their observations were unusually precise. Their questions often went deeper than expected. And when they finally spoke, their words seemed carefully chosen, almost as if they had already considered several layers before saying anything. Because real intelligence often does not appear in dramatic ways. Many people still imagine intelligence as something obvious. Someone speaking quickly, solving difficult problems instantly, or constantly showing knowledge. But in real life, highly intelligent people often appear much quieter than expected. Psychology suggests that intelligence is not simply about how much someone knows. It is often about how the mind processes reality. And that processing creates small habits that many people misunderstand. One of the most common signs is that highly intelligent people often enjoy being alone. Not because they dislike others, not because they feel superior, but because silence gives their thoughts room to unfold. For some people, being alone feels empty. For highly analytical minds, being alone often feels mentally full. Ideas connect more clearly. Memories return with new meanings. Questions appear naturally. This is why someone highly intelligent may choose solitude, even when surrounded by opportunities to socialize. Their mind often needs quiet in the same way the body needs rest. Another strong sign is constant curiosity. Highly intelligent people rarely stop asking questions. Even when they are silent internally, their mind keeps moving. Why did that person suddenly change tone? Why do people repeat emotional mistakes they claim they understand? Why does success satisfy some people but leave others empty? A highly intelligent mind rarely accepts surface explanations for long. Curiosity becomes automatic. Even small situations become material for deeper thought. A simple conversation may lead to 10 hidden questions, and because of this, highly intelligent people often notice details others ignore completely. Another habit that often surprises people is talking to themselves, sometimes softly, sometimes silently, sometimes replaying conversations alone. This is not unusual for active minds. Psychologists describe this as self-directed speech. It helps organize thought. It slows down fast internal processing. It allows the brain to test ideas before speaking externally. This is why someone highly intelligent may appear to pause, often repeat thoughts quietly, or mentally rehearse conversations. Their mind is sorting multiple possibilities, but perhaps one of the clearest differences appears during uncomfortable moments. Because intelligence often becomes visible, not when life is easy, but when life suddenly becomes difficult. Imagine two people receiving criticism. Someone says, "Your idea may not work." A typical reaction is immediate defense. Many people feel the need to explain quickly, to protect themselves, to prove they are right. But a highly intelligent person often pauses first. That pause matters, because during that short silence, the mind is already separating emotion from information. Instead of reacting to the discomfort, they often ask, "Which part do you think needs improvement?" That small response reveals a very different mental process. One person reacts to protect ego, the other reacts to extract useful information, and this difference appears again during conflict. When two people argue, most people focus on winning. They search for stronger words. They repeat their position. They defend themselves harder. But highly intelligent people often analyze the structure of the conflict itself. They ask internally, is this argument really about today? Or is this old frustration speaking again? Is the person reacting to facts or to feeling ignored? That is why some intelligent people appear unusually calm during emotional moments. Not because they do not feel emotion, but because analysis is happening at the same time. Another difference appears in conversation. When someone says, "I had a difficult day," a common response may be "mine too." The conversation quickly returns to self. But a highly intelligent person often asks, "What happened?" because they naturally search below surface statements. They want context. They want emotional structure. They often listen not only to words, but to what words are avoiding. This is why highly intelligent people often notice emotional contradictions others miss. A smile that hides discomfort, confidence that sounds forced, silence that means more than speaking. Another sign is that highly intelligent people are comfortable saying, "I don't know." This sounds simple, but it is psychologically rare. Many people fear uncertainty. They would rather sound confident than incomplete. But highly intelligent people usually understand how complex reality is. The more someone truly understands life, the more clearly they see how limited certainty can be. They know that knowledge is always partial, that new information can change conclusions. And because of this, they do not fear adjusting their views. This leads to another important trait. They change their minds when evidence changes. Many people experience changing opinion as weakness, but highly intelligent minds often treat beliefs as temporary models. If reality changes, the model should change too. They are less attached to being right, more attached to becoming accurate. This flexibility is often misunderstood. Some people call it inconsistency, but often it is simply intellectual honesty. Another powerful sign is overthinking. Highly intelligent people often analyze small events far longer than others. A short message, a delayed reply, a strange tone, a tiny facial expression, because once multiple interpretations appear, the brain keeps exploring. What did that mean? Was something hidden there? Should I respond differently? The same brain that solves complexity also creates complexity, and often highly intelligent people struggle not because they think too little, but because they cannot easily stop thinking. Humor also reveals intelligence in subtle ways. Highly intelligent people often have unusual humor, sometimes dry, sometimes dark, sometimes layered enough that only certain people immediately understand it. Because humor requires rapid pattern recognition, the brain must connect unrelated ideas, break expectations, and deliver surprise at the exact right moment. That is why advanced humor often appears naturally in highly intelligent minds. Another habit is observing more than speaking. In many social situations, highly intelligent people watch first. They notice who interrupts, who seeks approval, who hides insecurity behind confidence, who changes personality depending on who enters the room. Their silence often contains active analysis, and when they finally speak, it often sounds sharper because they have already collected more information than others realize. Nighttime also affects many intelligent minds differently. When everything becomes quiet, their mind often becomes louder. At night, thoughts stretch further, questions deepen, ideas return. Many highly intelligent people report feeling mentally most active when the world becomes silent. And perhaps the deepest sign of all is the constant search for meaning. Highly intelligent people often struggle to remain satisfied with surface explanations of life. Even ordinary situations trigger deeper questions. Why do people hurt those they love? Why do many people chase validation but still feel empty? Why do success and loneliness often arrive together? Why does human behavior repeat patterns even when people know better? These questions often stay quietly in the background, not dramatic, not always spoken aloud, but always present, because intelligence often creates awareness, and awareness often creates depth, and depth sometimes creates distance. This is why highly intelligent people often seem different, not because they are superior, not because they are cold, but because their mind rarely stops processing what most people simply pass by. And perhaps the most misunderstood truth is this: intelligence is rarely loud. It is often quiet. It is often patient. It often appears through restraint rather than display. Sometimes the smartest person in the room is simply the one speaking least, while understanding most.